show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. Another day of crypto and Pulsechain, of course. We're going to wrap up the weekly results, I guess, and look at some of the projects and actions or activities that are happening on the chain. We're going to have a good look at Bitcoin and Ethereum as well. Talk about some of the updates that we've had this week on that. So it should be a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's going to be a slightly shorter show than normal, but we'll see how it goes. Got a few other things to do today as well. Just fit in. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of fun for me today. Well, not really, because a lot of things I've got to do. But there we go. Hope you guys are enjoying yourself, coming off the back of Christmas Day and everything, and all the big feasts, and moving on to New Year's Eve party. I guess you guys are planning and going on, getting ready for holidays and things like that. So it's kind of cool. Now let me just share show on X. Don't forget to hit the repost button and share it around. We got Stylo in the house. That big shout out to Stylo. Big shout out. Repost the show. Appreciate that. Thanks very much. And share the show around. That's the link right there on X. And of course, you can make comments on X, right? You can make comments on X. Now I'm just going to pin the show to the top of the profile. If you guys haven't followed on X, give a big follow. If you're on YouTube, of course, don't forget to subscribe. And that'd be cool. Let's see what else. And we also got the, I think we can jump in there, can't we? And go to the comments, is it? The comments we did it yesterday. Got to get into a habit of doing it, I guess. But anyway, get into the comments there, and they will show up on the studio. So that's kind of cool. And I can show them on the live stream. Kind of cool. Wookie's in the house, our community leader. Big shout out there, Wookie. Hit the likes and post it out. Absolutely do that. That'd be really great. We got Rolf in the house there. Superman's in the house. Sure is. Thank you so much, Rolf. Hope you're doing well. Rolf Kane in the house there. Now, I was going to big shout out to Excavator and Envious Crypto, both in the Discord, and big shout out there. Hope you guys are enjoying yourself. If you guys haven't joined the Discord, links in the video description on YouTube, and also pinned to the top on X, so you can join up today. We have our strategy club. It's just over $1 a day to join up. It's a private club, and constant intel flowing through there constantly. And of course, join up just over $1 a day, about $35 a week. A month, I should say. So really good value there. Join up today. All right. What else? I think that's it. Should we get into the crypto? Let's do it. And what day is it today? So I guess it's Saturday in the United States. It's Sunday here in New Zealand. It's currently midday in New Zealand here. All right, so let's jump into the news. And we're going to go to the full screen for the old crypto. So at the moment, we've got crypto at 3.049 trillion. Now, you might have, if you're here yesterday, I actually went through the size of crypto compared to other markets in the world, and it's pretty small. So we've got a long way to go in the old crypto, and we can see that we're getting all the adoption from the United States leading the way. And so it's going to get re-rated pretty severely. And you guys hear it all pretty early. So if you thought you were late, you're not. You're early, and it's going to be great. We got Sean O'Malley in the house there. Repost the stream. Appreciate that. Big shout out, Sean. And Wookie says it's going to be raining New Year's Eve. Sad, says Wookie there. Yeah, that's sad for you, mate. But that's because you're in the rainy city. You're in the rainy city. All right. Let's move on. We got Bitcoin right now at $87,500. That's up 0.1%. We've got Ethereum at the moment is at $2,932. Wookie, you probably won't even notice the weather's raining because you're going to be probably eating steaks and sausages and everything else. You're probably eating all that stuff. We've got BNB at the moment, number 4. That is up 0.9%. So at $842. We've got XRP at number 5, up 0.9% at $1.86. We've got Solana at number 7, up 1.4% at $124. Tron at number 8 is up 1.7%. So some nice moves to Solana and Tron relatively, up 28.5 cents or at 28.5 cents. And then Doge at number 10 is up 1.1% at 12.3 cents. So those are the top 10 right now. Figure Halleck has still flipped Cardano for quite some time. Is it almost a week now? And that's down slightly. All right, it is true. I know it's true. It's true. It's true. I'm just getting hungry thinking about it. I love the old sausages and onions and the old bread. The old bread, just a plain little meal, but it's I don't know, something nice about it with the old ketchup and stuff. All right, make myself hungry as I'm talking about it, which is kind of hilarious. All right, best performer in the top last 24 hours is Tron at 1.7%. And of course, let's have a look in the last week. The best performer is Tron, also at 1.5%. So there we go, Tron. Tron doesn't really move around too much, does it? So that's kind of where Tron is at. Top 100, we've got Zcash. We've got at 14.4%. And we've got Canton there up at 12%. Mincore up 9.7%. Toncoin there for Telegram there up 8.5%, and Aptos there up 8.2%. Those are our top 5 at the moment in the last week. So if you're in those, you'll be pretty happy. Now, interesting enough, Zcash and Canton are both pretty much today. So they're pretty much, in fact, even Mincore's most of it's today, the gain. So there we go. We had a bit of a change in the leaderboard, except for Zcash has probably moved up from number 5 to number 1. But Mincore was there too, wasn't it? Maybe Canton. Yeah. So there's been a couple of changes though. Yeah, Midnight's moved down, right? Midnight has moved down from Charles Hodkinson with their privacy chain. Obviously, privacy being one of the key themes right now. And of course, that sets us up perfectly for ProveX and Liberty Swap. And Liberty Swap V2 is progressing, isn't it? And so we're excited about that. So let's see where the market is on the old Peacock with that later on. Now, let's zoom in on the rest of the market. So top 1,000 gainers, we've got Fast Token, the White Whale, and the little jihadi coin here is number 3. So there we go. And we got the trending there. We got Flow, Sophon, and Zcash. They're the ones that are trending overall at the moment. Total coin gecko market cap, as I said, 3.049 trillion. Super cheap, guys. And so we've got a long way to go. It's going to be quite a neat re-rate. So we've got Bitcoin at the moment, Bitcoin on the monthly. We've got the 50-day moving average at 64,785. We've got the price of Bitcoin at 87,500. So we're well ahead on the monthly. And as you can see in the long perspective, Bitcoin's looking really good for that next re-rate, really. Let's have a look at the daily chart, and we can see that we've still got that death cross playing out from the 16th of November. But we are in this kind of consolidation zone here. I guess you guys can see all that, right? With my mouse, you can see that kind of consolidation zone. And so, yeah, it's looking good. Now, we expect this to kind of stay like this, a little bit flattish in this range through to about the 10th of January, right? When everyone's on holiday, and then game on after that. That's kind of the idea. If you're in a bull, if you're in one of the bulls, which I am, that's kind of where we're expecting it to go. All right, so that is the old Bitcoin, and we have a few other metrics there as well. So let's go look at some of those. So at the moment for the month of December, we've only got a few days to go, right? So 3 or 4 days, 4 days in the US, I guess, 3 days here in New Zealand. And we're still down 3% at the moment compared to 2.85 last year. Pretty similar numbers at the moment. We've still got a couple of days. Let's see whether we can slowly creep up and get a bit of a 3% gain or so. Let's see, I don't know, 4% gain. And see whether we can end even flat for the month. That'd be interesting. All right, so last year, remember, 2024 and 2023, we had green months for January and February. So particularly 23, we were at 40% now, and we were at 43% for February last year. So definitely that first quarter looking pretty positive, building on that bulls case that I made earlier with the old Bitcoin chart. So that is the monthly performance. We're going to keep that chart and move it over there because we're going to look at Ethereum later. But here's the rainbow chart. This is one of them. There's various forms of rainbow charts, but they're kind of similar at the moment because we're mostly in the blue range. Some charts have another band in there. Was it turquoise or something, some other color? But at the moment we're in the blue range, and you can see in this chart we're waiting for the banana part, right? That Raoul Paul bull case banana part, that sort of big rise. The green lines are the halvings, but we're waiting for those big moves, right? Those big moves that we had back in 2016, back in 2012, back in 2020. We're waiting for that, and I think it's going to be pretty severe. So I think it's to the upside. That's pretty strong. So I think we're going to be going up to these, I don't know, the orange or the red, even the red. We'll see if we do get up. Let's go mid 26, right? Let's go mid 20. We'll do mid 26. And mid 26 would suggest if we do get up to like orange, that's 265k Bitcoin. And if we do at the end of the year 26, let's say 26, then we're looking at and if we get to orange, we're looking at 400k Bitcoin there by then. And so that's definitely in the ballpark, that 250 to 400. I think in this move. Now we're expecting to be pretty bullish all the way through, right, to the end of 2027 in particular. We're expecting the golden age of America. We've already seen that in economic growth rates for the last quarter. So it's setting us up for a really nice, we talk about super wealth being created over the next 2 years. Now, with that said, we always have pullbacks in the markets. So, note that as a caveat. We also have features that can help do those pullbacks, and we could have the government shutdowns. We could have the Supreme Court, shoot down the emergency use of tariffs. We've still got, a little bit around the interest rates, although I think that's going to be probably pretty much solved once we get a change of the guard in May. We'll probably get a new announcement about who the candidates are going to be. That process takes about 3 months, and we've still got that interest rate meeting on the, I think it's 26th of January, so which is about 4 weeks away. No, we're not expecting any decrease at the moment on that in terms of the rates. Which is really slow, guys. I think it's really slow. So we'll see how we get. We have seen a little bit of mixed results in the employment data as well. And that's kind of tends to be chiefly looked at the moment, whereas inflation's still around 2.7%. And there has been some debate over whether the 2% target was actually set by New Zealand, right? New Zealand was one that came up with the 2% target. Whether that's really relevant, maybe they should go to 3%. Now, in New Zealand, I think we've moved from a fixed target of 2% to a range of 1 to 3%. I think that's where we are now. So that would quite put US inflation quite in that line if it went to change it to a band. And bands are typically better, I think, anyway. And therefore, the US would be comfortably in that, and therefore rates could continue to come down. The other side with rates is typically you have a bit of a rule of thumb of 1 to 1. Well, at the moment, it's still quite ahead of that, right? So we're still at about 3.75% on the federal funds rate compared to inflation, which is around about 2.7. So still, we're still in that monetary policy is kicked off, where we're in that rate decrease cycle, and money is being printed right after quite a long time. Money's starting to be printed now, and they're starting to buy US bonds and stuff like that with the repo markets overnight, fixing up the bank settlements. So, and expanding the monetary supply there. We're also seeing that Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is wanting to change the bank reserves ratio that were put in place really around the Great Recession. There's two ways of looking at that, of course. One is that that issue around the Great Recession in 2007-8 was caused by the fundamental economy, where people with bad housing were giving lending out that was bad because they changed the rules on lending, right? So you had a lot of bad lending stock, and of course that's what the domino effect happened for the old house crash there, and of course pulled markets down. So if you blame the real economy, then that's one thing. Obviously, there was a financial change in the markets for that to happen, but as opposed to a financial market collapse by itself. So I think we're looking pretty good other than that moving forward. And so we're expecting that reserve to increase the total lending supply. I think the numbers they gave were about 1.5 trillion. So we've got lots of stuff coming in terms of spending. And in addition to that, of course, we've got all the Trump tax changes around no tax and no tips. We got the military getting $1,776 for their service, and it's 1.45 million people in the military, and we've also got potentially, a check refund around tariffs possibly as well. So there's lots of money coming for spending. That's going to be really great. The only reason why that's great is because that will help offset also the US government with obviously they're pulling back their spending, and with the higher GDP, they're going to end up getting a bigger tax take. So Trump's been playing around a few things in that space, but that's looking pretty good too. And if you've got more spending come, people are getting richer. And of course, also the markets are going out with the stock market and commodities, etc. Then people are getting richer, arguably, at least a good proportion of the population. I think it's something like 60-something percent, 63% of the US citizens have some stake in the US stock market. And so people are getting richer, and therefore there's a lot of spending. So if you've got a lot of spending, and you get inflation typically, right? If you're thinking about like that. And so, but the difference with the Trump economy is that they're expanding supply dramatically, right? So that should keep inflation in check, and of course, that's going to be pretty exciting for the whole market. All right. So what we saw under the Biden, of course, they spend a lot of money, and supply was very slow to expand, and in a lot of areas it was actually contracting. So that's been a big problem, right? So that's where you get the high inflation, and so now we've got Trump with the right economists doing the right thing, and this was long overdue, guys. So we're talking about decades overdue. So really, really excited to see where we're heading here. I used to listen to liberal commentators, liberal economists on US news shows saying stuff, and I was just thought you guys are absolutely nuts. You guys are supposed to be intelligent, supposed to be all this, but they're just crazily dumb. I mean, it really is dumb. Democrat economists are just the stupidest people out there, as well as policymakers. I mean, it's just insane the stuff they put forward. So it's really good to have common sense, some of the smartest people in the country doing some fantastic stuff in the Trump administration. It really is a breath, a breath of fresh air. It really is crazy good. So let's enjoy it, guys. Let's enjoy it. And this rainbow chart's looking good to the upside. So we're looking forward to that over the next year or two. So very excited there. So that's pretty much our Bitcoin coverage. Moving to Ethereum. Obviously, Ethereum, we're expecting even a greater move in the old Ethereum there. Tom Lee gave his latest predictions for January, February, sort of early January, at least into the first quarter, talking about 7 to 9K for Ethereum. So a big quick re-rate. We know that happens in crypto. We've already had the liquidation event that ran for about 8 weeks from 10th of October onwards. So we really have set that plateau here, and you can see it in the chart on the monthly. That we've got a lot of room to move to the upside. 29, so we can go to 7 to 9K. So we're going to look for a quick re-rate. That's where you make a lot of money in a short space of time. That's kind of the play there. And we know that Tom Lee has been buying even more Ethereum, and he just started staking it, I think, yesterday. So he started staking, I think it was about 77,000 ETH or something yesterday. So they've started staking all that ETH, that 4 million of ETH that they've got. So very, very exciting. Now, remember, if we go have a look at the strategic ETH reserve, they're sitting on over 4 million. They're actually got 4.07, but they actually got more now because they've been buying more. So they're probably closer to 4.2 or at least 4.15 or something like that. And so that they're getting there. They've got to get 6 million. So they've still got quite a bit to buy. And that's bullish, right? And we also see a little bit of move from Sharplink. Sharplink actually came out of the validated pool with a bit of the ETH, interesting enough. But we've got a few other moves happening in some of these other strategic ETH reserves. So we should expect some updates around that in the next couple of days. In fact, the 19th, 28th, we should get it maybe in 2 days' time, tomorrow or the next day. So we're excited about that. All right, so we've got all that. And so what that's doing is it's sucking supply out of the ecosystem in Ethereum. And with the mass adoption coming, we're expecting real major re-rate in the old Ethereum. So yeah, short-term Tom Lee's 7 to 9K. Longer term, particularly with the use of Ethereum as a payment system, he's talking about upwards of 20,000. And further down the track in the sort of 10-year play for Ethereum, he's talking about at least 60K, like maybe 62K for network re-rate, and that's compared to Bitcoin rallying as well. So pretty exciting. Now, Michael Saylor, of course, he's also talking about the same play. It's basically the same idea. They're continuing to buy Bitcoin. I think they got 650,000 Bitcoin, something like that. What $50 billion or something. So they're continuing to buy Bitcoin. He's not slowing down, and he's suggesting that they're going to be able to buy all the Bitcoin that's going to be sold. That's how much Bitcoin they're ready to buy. So they're going to help keep prices going up and to the right. Now, we know that his long-term target, this 2045 target, he had the average case, the midpoint case he had at a $13.5 million Bitcoin. So this is kind of his vision for the future. And everything that he's been hearing from U.S. government, state departments, everybody else is that they're all coming in. And so we're looking at the stablecoin legislation with Genius Act. The act as itself is already in place, right? So that was put in place, I think it was July, and that itself will be enacted the earliest date of January the 27th, or when regulations put in place. And so that regulation could be a lot earlier. We know that they've put out 2 calls of action for the Genius Act with stablecoin boom, and they've put that out for feedback around regulations. So we may have regulations out as early as mid 2026. So I've seen a lot of stuff out there saying, oh, well, really it's not till January 27, but it's actually the earliest date of. So that could have us there at least another 6 to 7 months earlier. So we'll keep a lookout for that progress around regulations for the Genius Act, and therefore applications would be put in, right? Particularly if you're over $10 billion stablecoin ecosystem, then that's going to be huge, right? So that's where we're looking for this boom, and of course, Treasury Scott Bessent talked about $4 trillion in stablecoins being boomed before 2030, right? So it's going to be, well, it's like I say, we've got a small market cap of $3 trillion. We're about to get re-rated. This play is definitely, potentially, 10 years long at least, and so it's very, very exciting. Good time. So if you're after that, if you're wanting to make great gains, you're going to be able to get that. If you want to have a great retirement, then there's probably going to beat all other markets. So you definitely want to have your decent bag of good quality ETH, and Pulsechain. Of course, we're bullish about that, the flow-on effects in the Pulsechain. So kind of cool. That's kind of where we are with that. And of course, we've got the Clarity Act coming as well. The crypto market structure. We've got the SEC working with the TradeFi like Nasdaq and everything else to get all tokenization in place. So we're going to have all those things coming at once, right? So over the next year or so maybe 18 months, let's say. So hyper bullish for the old crypto markets. So that's kind of cool. So that's where Ethereum is right now. We're at $2,939, below that 3,000 resistance. We've got the 50 monthly moving average at $2,535. We've obviously, let's have a look at the daily chart as well. Just trying to make sure I'm on the right place there. Hey, big shout out. We've got Tyndall in the house there. Reposted the stream. Appreciate that. Thanks so much, Tyndall. And if you're not following Tyndall, give him a follow. That's great stuff out there. What else? Matthew's up there. When next leg up for Peacock? Well, it's looking very, very tasty at the moment there, Matthew. We're going to look at it later on, the old Peacock chart. Super Snake in the house. Good morning, Superman. Hey, good morning, Super Snake. Hope you're doing well. All right, so let's move on into the daily there. So we've got the death cross here on the November. It's moved a little bit later than the Bitcoin. And here we are down, similar kind of idea as Bitcoin, right? We're ticking away all the way to probably about the 10th of January because it's all holiday period, right? Everyone's away. And then we should start to see it, start to slowly grind up after that into bullish January, February, March type of thing. So that's kind of where we're expecting there with the up case. Not really too much. I don't think I'm really too much expecting a down case. We do have some down case variables. Obviously, we're in late January. We could have a bit of volatility around the Supreme Court. It's a late January or February decision we're expecting on the emergency use of tariffs that Trump's used for reordering the World Trade Order and other political goals. So yeah, that's out there. But I think that's at the moment looking more favorable to Trump. We'll see. And the cases, apparently the cases that were put together were pretty weak for denying Trump. So we'll see how that goes. So we'll say that's in favor of Trump for the time being. And then, of course, we've got the government shutdown again as well. I think that's in late January sometime. I can't remember the exact date, late January. I'll go check that. That's also, are the Democrats really going to play that game after it really didn't work out for them last time? So we'll see what happens there. They're always trying to, they don't work for the US citizens, right? So they're really trying to make Trump look bad, especially for the midterm. So probably more than likely we'll get some more games going from the Democrats because it's midterms coming up after that. So that's kind of where we are expecting for that. And then, what's the other thing? I said interest rates as well in January. So, end of January could be a little bit volatile. We'll see. But it could also be, we get no expectations on interest rates. Let's say that's a neutral position because that's where the market's at the moment. They've already presumably priced it in. And then we might get a bit of hype around whoever's going to elect for the governor, for the new chair, I should say, for the Federal Reserve. That could create some positive hype. And then we've also got, because they're going to be, a dovish, in other words, more interest rate cuts, which is kind of cool. And I think there's definitely the room to do that. And then, we'll see how we get on with that. So hopefully we win the Supreme Court judgment. So that's 2 out of 3 short-term issues in the late January, let's say. And then the government shutdown, that's the one that's probably going to be a negative. But we'll see how the market sort of storms through that, given what happened in the last time they tried to do that. So But it certainly, with the government shut down for so long, it definitely impacted data information flows, and that was a problem. And obviously, people not getting paid as well eventually. But maybe not a good idea for the Democrats with the midterms. We'll see what they decide to do. They're pretty stupid people, so we'll see. We'll see. All right, so let's jump away from that. That is the Ethereum chart. Let's move into the Bitcoin, and we'll switch it over for Ethereum. See how its performance is going for the month. It's down 1.7%, so not as bad as Bitcoin. But last year it was down almost 10%. So we'll see how we get on. Last year we did have kind of a flat January as well, and that may end up occurring if we get any negative news around down, or maybe the interest rates isn't kind of neutral and people price it down negative. But we'll see what happens there. And then of course we've got we had February, March really green, so particularly February, March. So February certainly looking potentially positive. Weekly review. We're going to get into Pulsechain next, and we will be covering Liberty Swap and Peacock. We're going to be covering True2X. We're going to have a look at their numbers coming in, and we're also going to be covering Rack and Michelle Coinwell. These are the next projects coming up, but we're also going to cover the markets for Pulsechain first. How am I doing for time? 27 minutes. I said I was going to be quick today, but looks like I'll be a bit longer than I suspected. All right, so let's go to the Pulsechain numbers. And at the moment, we've got day 960 finishing, and we're about to start day 961. Pulsechain, of course, launched on the 13th of May, 2023, 960 days later. And we're only, 40 days to go until 1,000 days. Pretty awesome, eh? Let's hope we were up significantly over the next 40 days. That'd be kind of cool. That would certainly match with the rest of the crypto market that we're expecting. So Pulse at the moment, quadruple 159 is up 0.5%. So even though it's not showing green, it's up 0.5%. We're at 16% of the mean sacrifice price right now. Pulsex at the moment is at quadruple 134. It was up about 4 or 5% before the live stream, so maybe the base periods was lower. I don't know, but it's down 1.7% now. It was up quite nicely before I started streaming, so maybe the base rate just changed over that same period. What else there? We got the buy and burn at 8.31%. Not really much change there. We have got pretty low volumes on Pulsechain right now, right? So no surprise there, I guess. The Ink token at the moment 67 cents, down 0.5%, and we got Hex at the moment on Pulsechain 2800th of a penny, up 2.8%. So that's winning the day. EHEX at the moment still 00092, so still got 3 zeros. Combined price EHEX and PX at 3700th of a penny. Gas prices. We're at 231,000 beats, a little higher than normal. Still 1/10 of a penny though, so still super cheap. Validators 51,986. So that's gone down quite a lot, isn't it? It's gone down about 650, is it? Somewhere like that. We're down at 51, below 52,000 now. And then the bridge there. So that's probably some key players doing that, pulling out. That's probably the case. We're at just below $78 million. So we're down slightly from yesterday. I can't remember, it was about 100K maybe from down from yesterday, something like that. That's where we are now. Just having a quick look at the stables. I got my snapshot from the 19th. That's like 9 days ago. We had 6,035 ETH. We got 6,111. DAI was 17.2 almost. We're at 16.6. USDC was 16 million. Now we're at 16.1. So ETH's gone up. DAI's gone down. USDC's gone up. USD Tether was 4.9. We're at 4.8, let's say. So we're down 100 on that. And that's kind of the mark at the moment. And Bitcoin pretty much the same. Coast the same. And therefore, EHEX there. EHEX is up slightly on the volume, but of course, EHEX price is it's actually up. EHEX is actually up. So we must have been even lower back then 9 days ago on EHEX, which is kind of funny. All right. So that is our stable coins. Let's jump over to the market results. So we're at 5.1 million. So we're better than yesterday. What was yesterday? About 3.3 million or something. Obviously, it was a holiday, but it was pretty dramatic. So we got a new token been around for 11 hours. The Gold Fleet. Is it the Gold Fleece? Is it fleecing you? I don't know. But it's a small retail play. 11K market cap there. It's got 9,000 in liquidity, funnily enough. Anyway, that's been around for 11 hours. Not endorsing any coins, remember. We're just covering the top 100 trending. Coda's been around for 1 day. That is up at 99%. And we've got Opus there up at 37% as well. So a couple of new little projects there. We've got time dividend, one of the blue chips on Pulsechain. That is sitting at 1200th of a penny. That's up 10%. We'll have a little look at that, little sneak peek at the old time dividend. It's off the bottom, and obviously this come down. It's a huge, obvious trading range, right? So you just got to play it out over a long period of time because these are weekly candles. But 1200 of the penny, and obviously downward Pulsechain right now. The RSI is definitely more extended than normal, so you can see the compared to past periods. We're down at 33, but of course Pulse they're down, down their record lows, right? Let's look at the pulse ratio there, and that is, we're at 75 right now for time dividend, so that's a little bit better, isn't it? But we had been up at 126 at some stage, so that is time dividend. Sean O'Malley says, good morning, Super. Panda X launch is tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern US daytime, tomorrow on Sparta. So Sparta, they've got a new token right now. Zero Trust, which is tied under Peacock. Now, Zero Trust is doing their own sort of creative activities. So they've got a few things going on. That's up 8.5% right now. Let's have a little look at the chart. Also tied into Peacock with the LPs. It's up at 3,500th of a penny. Just bouncing off the bottom there. Let's look at the pulse ratio. It's pretty telling when pulse is down, which is, which ratios are up, right? And this is up at 222 pulse per zero. So it's doing quite well, I would say, after chat. Obviously had a big rally and hyper pump up to 366. Came all the way down to 131 and it's now up to 222. So not too bad there. That gets us to Peacock. And of course, we had good old Matthew. Was it Matthew back here? Was it Matthew? Where did Matthew go? Yeah, we had Matthew in house there. Went a leg up for Peacock. So we'll talk about that now. And we had Peacock here. We'll look at the bigger pair, 352K at over 1 cent now. So a nice little bounce overnight. So up 7.5%. Let's have a look at the old chart. And we can see we've got a nice little sort of wedge thing happening there. So could we bounce out of this move? Possibly. And we've definitely got Liberty Swap version 2 coming out. That's going to be a big deal. A lot of people probably not kind of grasping at the moment, but it's going to be able to hook in a lot of DeFi. So we could have a big expansion of DeFi. And remember that it's a lot of projects on Pulsechain benefit from Peacock's bridging and swapping, and now of course privacy. But imagine them just tying in their own projects into the flow of money, the river of money, and so it could be quite an impressive ecosystem, right? Kind of the holy grail, one of those holy grails we're after on Pulsechain. So we're at over 1/10 of a penny, and looking pretty good. RSI is 50 at the moment on the daily. So let's look at the pulse ratio. As I said, it's probably telling. Pulse ratio breaking up there, so we're not too close, Matthew, and we're not quite there yet, but we're getting pretty close to a breakout here on the old Peacock there. Let's go full screen, shall we? And we might even, let's jump down here. Bam. Let's have a little zoom in on the old Peacock. But 662, it's at that teetering point. We break out of here. We're looking good, right? Looking good. So yeah, keep a lookout. Could be tomorrow, could be today. We'll see. But they're getting pretty close on the old Liberty Swap. As I understand it, they've done quite a lot of the upgrades, but they're kind of plugging things in and not showing stuff. So it's all going to come out, I guess, at once. And who knows what surprises we're going to have. We are expecting Petius to be tied in. That's a mega big deal. And that means people can trade privately, right, on the old Pulsechain. So that's a major big deal for the old Pulsechain. Now, it will probably take time for people to get up to speed, but people are influencers and other people out there doing tutorials, then it could be a really good expansion of the use case by retail. Now, the big guys are always going to get onto that straight away and use it, and may already have a lot of experience with it. And so we could see some big money using that, which is what you want to get, the low-hanging fruit first, right? So it'll be fun. All right, so looking pretty good as the old Peacock. We'll see another day, and it breaks from this range right now. It could be pretty exciting. Let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, if it's pretty close, right? Pretty close. I had it here, right? I had it if it broke out over 700 or so, but we're pretty close actually. 780, 680 for sure. We can break out of there. Another green day like that, and I think we're off to the races. We definitely got plenty of room in the RSI. for a nice move there. If we go to the US dollar, we're in at 50, right? So nice room for a breakout there to the upside. And of course, Liberty Swap bringing the version 2. They've been posting out quite a few things. So Liberty Swap says revolution time. This is 20 hours ago. Step 1 peg pulsed or PDI to $1. So that's a bit of fun hype there. We'll see. I mean, are they going to come up with some? It'd be a miracle if they come up with some sort of pegging mechanism. That would be the holy grail. But I guess decentralized means after a peg for an hour or something at the right time at the end of the 31st is bets on. I don't know whether they're all. But if there's some sort of blip in the matrix, then he could win that bet. We'll see. I just wish that people on Pulsechain would stop making bets with Eric or with outcomes they can't really control. So unless this is a controlled outcome that was always set up, then that's fine. But stop making bets with things you can't control. That's probably the rule number 1 there. Number 2, use the capital to accumulate Unicoin. So step 3, vote. Very responsible for Uniswap to launch everything on Pulsechain. Step 4, migrate all liquidity. So a bit of fun there, really. Bit of fun there. Pulsechain politely takes over Ethereum. So that was all on the idea that if you had $600 million or so of Uni token, that you could end up making a vote and winning a vote and moving all the LP pools directed to Pulsechain, essentially. I think was the idea there. So a bit of fun. Let's move on. So 7 hours ago, the great Pulsechain revolution will shake the world to its core. So they're obviously getting pretty excited about all the stuff they're doing. Do you feel it? So they're very good at positivity. It's the old Liberty Swap. And we need that in the Pulsechain, right? Need that in the Pulsechain. We've got 16 hours ago. Pulsechain friends, hold your head high. One day you'll realize how many people wished they had discovered Pulsechain at these prices. Trillions will move on chain, and Pulsechain has everything people will look at for when the moment comes: speed, scale, resilience, and freedom to build. Pulsechain is the future. Remember these words, Peacock. So there we go. Some nice fun there. Trillions, bro. Trillions for real. All right, so we got that. Hold the Pulsechain for the long run. So we got lots of nice bullish posts there. It's not wrong about the trillions coming. Trillions are coming, as I said before. So yeah, we'll see if Peacock helps set up this heavy trading and DeFi ecosystem and privacy. Then yeah, that's offering a pretty powerful solution to the market and crypto. And then routing the liquidity pools from Ethereum. Yeah, let's bring it on. And other chains, of course, Solana too, and others. They've been very specific about targeting Ethereum and Solana, right? So Solana and Ethereum, of course, are two of the preferred chains for the TradeFi to come in for stablecoins, Genius Act, everything. All right, so we already see Sun's mini meal being advised pretty much by Floyne markets in Europe to move to Solana. So you can obviously Peacock, so at least the Liberty Swap targeting that. So Matthew was also asking about the chart. Well, Phantom here has got a little view on the Peacock chart. Peacock has been accumulating for 6 weeks straight. Sideways equals fuel, breakout loading, and when it goes, it won't be polite. So if you like that one, Matthew, that there is from another community member. And that accumulation zone looking pretty good. So nice. What else there? Tandy says that he added to his Peacock bags, I believe, the work Liberty Swap is doing. If you missed the first 16x run versus Pulse, this looks like another opportunity. Ascending triangle with tightening range. The bird is getting ready to fly. So there we go. Lots of excitement there. So there we are, Matthew. A couple of community reposts from Liberty Swap. 5 hours ago, you also want to empower users rather than working against them. People want to see and buy good things instead of bad things. Often the problem is that competition is too difficult in the current market. Yeah, well, that's true. All right, so let's move on. We've got lots of look. I love all these pictures that they're doing. Liberty Swap revolution. We need a bit of a revolution to get rid of all the progressives running our countries in the West. Then we might be okay. We might have a safer environment. What else we got there? Let's scroll up here a little bit more. I think that's it for the moment. So we're still waiting, guys. Still waiting for the Liberty Swap version 2 to be released. Just buy Peacock and hold Peacock. If you want real tech, it has tech. If you like memes, it has a meme. If you believe the community should win, the community holding most of the supply is already winning. So there we go. Obviously, people are delayed a little bit on the V2, so obviously it takes a little bit of time because they're plugging in a lot of heavyweight stuff. So I'm not too worried about the timeline. but it's coming. So people, it's coming pretty soon. Let's go to look at LibertySwap website before we move on to the next thing. So that's kind of where we're looking at the moment. So that's what it looks like. Not really too much change there with the old LibertySwap platform, but it's coming. It's coming, guys. So just a bit more patience, and the market's already starting to maybe move on it, right? Maybe get excited there. All right, that is a LibertySwap and Peacock. So that's coming up, V2. Batius links and stablecoins. At least those might be part of the whole update there. Sparta, obviously we talked about that. Finvesta, OG WebChef up 5.6%, $2.23. Peahen also tied into the old Peacock. That's up 5%. Zero Trust there. Sparta. Dunamis at number 14, up 3.8%. Been around for 23 days. Arc there has been around 4 months, up 3.8%. Delt Token, one of the top memes, is up 3.8% there. PTC the Greys. Bria, which we're looking forward to, up 3.5%. This is probably going to play out more in January from the looks of it, because we're not expecting, well, at least I'm not expecting Coinwell and Coinaki to January now. Probably waiting for the market to pivot, and of course they've got Coin Mafia are going to be launching. We'll see whether it launches before New Year's. Question mark there, but certainly I know the whitelist is being prepared, so that's getting closer too. So we'll keep a lookout for the old Bria. But certainly January could be quite the exciting month for the old Bria there. Vouch, of course, the number one validator on Pulsechain, and that's up 3.5% as well. And so this obviously, along with the time dividend, these could all really fly once Pulsechain does a bit of a reversal there. 9mm is similar, the second biggest DEX on Pulsechain, up 3.3%. I certainly think there's another room for another big DEX on the old Pulsechain, even at these volumes, at least getting ready for higher volumes. So it could be an opportunity out there. Zendog, number 24, is up 2.8%. ALGO Hex Derivative, up 2.6%. The OG WebChef, remember the 5th of September. I just love saying that. I don't know what it is up 2.5%. We've got the old Sacrifice protocol there that B-Roots and Ian Einish like. Number one, which I don't like so much, is up 2.25%. SCADA, which talked about that the other day with Newt Supply, that is up 2.2% there as well. UFO with PDC is up 2%. Curve, been around for 9 months now, up 2%. Number 33 is Liquid Loans, sitting at 1.2%. And what else we've got there? Pump Tires, number 35, up 1%. And then we've got a whole ton of little ones here, up 1%, including Sun Minimeal. What else? DevC, up 0.25%. And Top Hat, pretty flat today at 1/10 of a penny. Now it's tied into the Peacock as well, right? But not getting a lot of love right now. Let's have a look at the Peacock ratio. Sitting at 1/10 of a Peacock at the moment. So that is where it is, but not getting a lot of love. Surprisingly, I guess all that Crypto Coffee has to do is sneeze, and it may jump. We'll see. Given how big of an influencer he is in the Pulsechain community, doing lots of videos on different things lately. What else? Everything else is slightly out of the money right now. We are waiting for Mafia game, so that's got to be pretty close. So keep a lookout for that. Number 47 from Jacob, and that will be our first fully fledged game on Pulsechain that will be largely decentralized. It's got like 60, 70 smart contracts or something like that. So it's a huge beast. So we're looking forward to that. Well, I'm not playing anymore, but once it launches, it's a good thing. Good thing for Pulsechain, right? Having a full-fledged game operating. What else we got? SolidX and X Game down here together, number 57, 58, just chilling out, down 1%. So it looks like they've stopped the bleed and just sitting there at the moment, but no value proposition really for them, right? No value proposition there at the moment. What else? Doubt Token down here as well, down 1.5%. This will scroll down a bit further. Got all the Richard Cores. We've got Unity down here at the moment, 7.4 cents, down 4%. Interesting, given that Pulsex was up earlier, but of course came down again. P Tiger from Crypto Tiger God, down 4%. Tropa and Teddy Bear from James Maria, all down here at number 90, number 94. They're down about 5% almost. And then we got some of the ones that were up yesterday. CDI is down 16% there as well. We saw some theories about CDI, and what was the other one that was up yesterday? CDI and the other token, I can't remember. But I saw some theories out there. Everyone's talking about those protocols getting set up for the glory of $1, or PDI $1 or whatever. So that's kind of the play on that one. Now, LibertySwap's been talking about PDI, right? So we'll see what magic happens there. And of course, what will happen on the 31st of December? I think that's what the date for the bet. That should never be made. So that's going to play, unless it'll be interesting. We'll keep a look out for that chart. Could be a bit of fun in any case. All right, so that is kind of the markets. Let's go. I was going to have a short show today, and here I am at 46 minutes. Now, True2X, of course, launched recently. There's the last project to really launch. And we've got the results came in from Neil. There's hot off the press. In fact, they only came out just before the live stream. So they're, how old are they? It came out with about an hour and a quarter ago. But the Pulse deposits into True2X, 132 billion. So yesterday it was 120 billion. We covered that up another 12 billion. And there's 4,737 miners, guys. Woo! So very successful start. Very successful start in the old True2X. They got the day one X factors or yields there. And they're pretty impressive, 6,300% or 0.93%. I guess that's your capital back, I guess. And then day 5 there as well, 2,300%. So still ticking away there. Obviously, that's dropping there down to 0.12, but still very impressive numbers there overall. So we'll see. Keep a lookout for that. I said 132 billion epic. So there we go. That's from Neil and True2X. So you can check it out in the Telegram group and tell them that Superman said hi. Superman said hi there. They're doing a great job and also been showcased in the Monster thread, which has been pretty awesome. So if you want to find more details, you can get in Telegram, check out the Monster thread, all that good stuff. So that is True2X and has had a very successful launch on the old Pulsechain. Now we are looking out for some of the system miners and partner miners, all that sort of stuff. That's things we're going to be watching in the future. So looking forward to that. All right, maybe we'll even have the team on. We'll see. We'll see what happens there with that. Now, the next big project launching, of course, not only Liberty Swap V2, but Coin Mafia from Rackham Rochelle. And he has been putting out a number of pre-launch videos and promotions, and that seems to be working pretty well. So we've got a couple on here from 5 hours ago. And we've got the old Coin Mafia and the screens in behind, which is kind of cool. And yeah, we're excited about it. Oh, we got one 21 minutes ago. Look at us, be so advised. So this is just hot off the press, so we'll give that a like. So Coin Mafia is going to be a launch site, of course. It's going to be multi-chain and something like 335 chains or something like that. So it's a big beast. So we're looking forward to that. Soon, it says. Look at that, soon. This just come off. I think it's 21 minutes ago. Soon. So getting pretty close, guys. All right, so that is coming out. And there was a little bit of information down here further, so just trying to find that. Yeah, where is it? Let's scroll down here. Yeah, 14 hours ago. This is turning serious. Coin Mafia. Maybe I built it too good. 375 other EVM chains. I said 335. My bad. Sorry. 375 plus chains. I think so. So that's amazing. I walk away a legend if this works. There we go. And that's entrepreneurial, right? Entrepreneurial. You make the best probable kind of setup that you think of based on your knowledge and your insights, experience, etc. And you build out a new platform. And it's definitely got lots of good changes in this, and it's going to be fun to see. Site visitors so far 131,000, and that's up 21,000 in the last 7 days. So got some nice growth there, and looking very, very well. Now I want to also understand that potentially got influencers out there with millions of users, millions of followers, or something like that. So we're keeping a big eye on that. Coin Mafia coming. It's going to potentially be a big deal. So yeah, keep a lookout. It's coming soon. Now we are expecting the whitelist first allocation and then launch pretty soon. I think it's going to be all pretty soon together, and maybe they'll make it for New Year's. We'll see. We'll see how we go. I haven't managed to check Coin Mafia today, but I'll check it after the live stream, see how they're getting on. And that's coming up, guys. That's coming up. So exciting times. The other one that we haven't talked about, which doesn't look at this stage coming out this year, but maybe the beginning of next year, is probably when maybe sentiment's turned, is Vault 369, the multi-chain, multi-collateral liquidity fork from Fast Abdul. And that may collide with a turn in sentiment in the market. You're probably waiting for the market to turn, which makes a lot of sense when you've got a DeFi protocol. And Rackham Rochelle is probably also doing that with Coinwell and Coinaki, and of course they should also strategically naturally follow after Coin Mafia. So it's probably the link there. So they're all moving into January now. Expectation for launch. That includes, but we did have Tetra, right? Tetra is expected to launch this week, so we'll keep a lookout for that before the 31st. See if they make the Tetra launch timeline, and also and Signum to follow in early January. So that's still open question. I'll go check the old Tetra group after this as well. But those are sort of some of the launches. They're all big launches, right? So and that gives more excitement than the old Pulsechain too. All right, I think that's it, guys. 52 minutes on the hour. I think we did it. And the question is, question. I don't have any questions. I'm in the wrong screen. The question is, I just realized I stayed in that screen. The question is, will we get one of these? You just never know. Never know.
You could get a God candle at any moment. You could get a giant green candle at any moment because it's easier to get them because it takes less economic energy because there's less of it for sale.
So you just never know. Will it be a Christmas, New Year's Eve a gift? We will find out. But that's all I've got for today, guys. So that was the weekly roundup for Bitcoin and Ethereum. I went through quite a few of the fundamentals. There's a few that I missed out, but there's a lot of the golden age of America is coming, guys. 26, 27. It's going to be unbelievable. And we do have a few challenges, though. There's always those challenges. Typically, a lot of them are political. So they're always going to be around, right? You can't completely get away with those. But you can certainly dampen them down through success. And that is where Trump is heading with that. So it's going to be good times. And that means we also should probably get some rotation with gold and silver rallying, get some rotation potentially into crypto too for next year. And the other one too is around US manufacturing and the expansion of the US economy. That will also be a signal for the crypto rally as well. So everything is kind of aligning up very nicely with a few little niggles there around the place. Monetary policy is expanding. Fiscal policy is under great management, and U.S. economy, the fundamental real economy, looking to absolutely utterly boom. And we already saw the sneak peek with that. So I think it's kind of cool. Structurally, of course, with crypto policy, it's looking all in favor. We've got the Holy Grail with the U.S. leadership, and so it's game on. What else can we say? Enjoy the golden age of America the next 2 years. And of course, crypto should absolutely moon to the moon. All right, take care. Catch you guys tomorrow. We got the Monster Thread coming out tomorrow. So Monster Thread number 34. Number 34 is coming out tomorrow. No, Envious Crypto is working on that hard again. And it's a really fun thing to do. And so we'll have all the hottest weekly news from Pulsechain over the Christmas and I guess partially New Year build up into that. So it should be a lot of fun there. The Monster Thread coming out tomorrow. So take care. I'll catch you then, and bye for now.